Welcome back to the channel. So in the last video I was working on painting up all the accessories. Didn't quite get them all done, so I just quickly set up a new tank of electrolysis, which is this here is the part I couldn't get in with the grinder because of all the bends. So I'll just set this up. So basically all it is water with some sodium carbonate, which you get from washing soda or baking soda. And I've just got it hooked up. You just put water in, and then you've got the similar to the zinc plating, where you just set up the metal anodes, and then this here is the piece that is connected to the part that we want to de-rust. So we've got it connected, and then we've got the power here, which is then basically just transferring all the rust to all these other pieces. So if I can just pause this a second, turn it off. It's basically just starting to take all the rust off here, and it also loosens up the paint, so we can get rid of that and then we can paint it. I don't want to really keep doing that on camera because it's taking way too long, and I guess it would get pretty boring. So I'm just going to let that sit there till it's and do it kind of off camera while I'm doing other stuff as well. We've still got a few of these bolts. I'm also going to just finish these bolts up as well, zinc plating, and then once that's all sorted, pretty much all the small bits should be pretty much finished. All the annoying bits, all the little tiny annoying bits are going to be sorted. Can then move on to actual building it all back up together and hopefully getting it all then back to running. Alright, so I've got most of the zinc plating done, so I'm just going to move on to the next step. Which was probably going to be doing the rear, try and hopefully do the rear end, like the tank. I'm going to clean up the tank, and we're also going to be cleaning up the diff and the PPF. So yeah, I couldn't get the two bolts on. Apparently these two pieces have bolts going through, and then once you take the bolts off, these two pieces lift up, and then you can take this PPF brace off. I couldn't get it off while it was in the car, so now it's out of the car. I should be able to get this off and take it off, and I'll be able to clean it all up. Also want to just clean up all the actual diff itself, just get rid of that rust, clean it up, make it look nice, to get it back in the car, clean up the aluminium and all that, give it some fresh oil, and then we can put it back in the car and possibly just clean up this bar as well. Probably don't really have any. I've only got stone chip black paint, so I might just clean off the rust and put some rust converter on it, and that should be good enough. Give it a nice little kind of just to clean up. Right, so I got the tank all rust converter on it, and we scraped all the flaky rust off it. And same goes for the drive shaft. We got some rust converter on that. I don't think I'll be painting this. It looks alright how it is. I don't want to just add on paint onto this because I only have the stone chip at the minute, and that would probably be too thick. And there's no real need for it. I just wanted to clean off the rust. So we got a nice, I guess, finish on this. And then we got another piece for the tank here. This was really rusty. We got rid of all the rust there, and we're going to be painting that as well with stone chip, just like all the other times. Same for the tank. And as you see here, we started doing the diff as well. It might be a little bit windy, might not be able to hear me. Got most of the rust off, but as for this here, the aluminium part of it, it's kind of awkward, you can't really do it. So what I'm going to do is I brought out the I'm going to just vapor blast it with a vapor material in this bucket, just like we did before in the gear with the gearbox. We just used the jet wash with the attachment, so you can connect into the blaster material, and then it's basically turns it into a vapor blaster. And I just put the the axles back in, just so nothing gets inside. The aluminium area of the diff cleaned up. It's nice and clean now, and looks a lot better. So what I'm going to do is just going to go ahead and put some rust converter on this, which is just like I did on the other parts here, and then we can paint that up. But we're going to put rust converter on, and then we'll move ahead and start painting that with the stone chip, just like all the other times. Stone chip on these pieces on the tank, and the extra cover for the tank as well. And then once the rust converter on here is dried, we can then do the paint the stone chip on there as well. The paint is now dried, so now we can go ahead and clear coat, and it's looking good. We've got the masking all pretty good on it, so it's going to look nice once the masking's all taken off and it is complete. Just going to go ahead, clear coat it, and then it should be pretty much sorted. got everything all painted. The clear coat is dried. You can see it's looking pretty good on the diff, and with it all nice and cleaned up. I also want to clean up these axles at some point, but not just yet. I'll do that once everything's on the car. The tank is outside, all nice and dry. I don't have anywhere to put it, so I've just left it outside. That's pretty much all I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm still got a few zinc plating pieces that I still have to do off camera, but once they're done, we can move on to actually starting to bolt everything back up onto the MX-5. Most likely in the next video, I'm going to be making sure everything's wired up, and there's a few pieces that still need to go onto the engine itself. And so I've still got a few bits pieces to put in, and I'm going to try and get the brake lines in. I've said that before I was gonna, but I didn't end up doing it. I've just got to bolt everything down completely. So I'm going to try and get the engine bay pretty much all back together in the next video. There's not much rust left to sort. Only last pieces of rust are these pieces down here. We've got the hubs here, and then we've got the anti-roll bars, and the steering is all that we have left. It won't be long till everything's all rust free and we can get everything all bolted back up to the MX-5, and we can put all the panels back on, and hopefully soon should be able to get it back onto the ground and finally the engine running, and then we can start doing the nice stuff onto it. That's all for this video, so I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.